told that the odds are now minus 135, Frank. No, you can go. You can keep going. It's okay. I like that. A little
Felt a little,
yeah. No, you felt like it was too soon?
I did a little because I thought you would be quicker to wrap. I don't know.
From the Fox Studios in beautiful New York City.
It's a good shout out to Squarespace. They do an awesome job.
Yeah, no, they do a great job.
Get out of your seats and on your feet because
just writing something here. It was a little bit. What?
We're introducing a segment with you on your phone.
No, it's fine. Listen, this is what happens when you do a live show, okay? Just take it easy, Frank. I didn't have time to send the link.
Can you imagine if somebody went and did a monologue while they're just typing on their phone?
Yeah, I mean, we do a 5-hour show with no breaks. What do you want from me? You know, the fact that I don't go to the bathroom in the middle of the show is worthy
suspicious.
of a raise in its own right. It's suspicious.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm doing?
I mean,
I just wanted to get the link out there. I can't even get it. What am I doing, Frank?
you should at least turn up like the sound effects of your phone so we can hear you typing.
No, I was just trying to pin this. All right, here we go. Our man, moderator Lewis, has sent us the questions. We're going to do probably, we could get through. I mean, France is coming on in an hour, so we could get through the majority of these if Frank doesn't interrupt all the time. Let me just get some, whoa, jeez.
Me interrupt.
Yeah. What are the odds now, GC?
In reference to what?
What are you thinking? Will he or won't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to put him out there. You're the odds maker.
I'm going to still say minus 110, minus 110.
Oh, no, I'm going minus 125. By the way.
Minus 125, yes.
Yes, of course.
Look at those shoes.
Wow, a little line movement.
Yeah, heat on the feet.
Look at
Action.
those laces.
Why do you keep mentioning the laces?
I really like them. I'm sorry.
What is it about the laces? Like, of all the things on these Bam Bam baklavas, straight up from New Balance, the collab to end all collab, why the laces? I don't understand.
They're colorful. I like them.
Are they colorful? Am I just colorblind
Oh,
here?
you are colorblind. That's right.
What color are the laces?
Pink.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. What color do you think they are?
I thought they were gray.
Oh, man. I don't mean to laugh at you.
Yeah.
What color is your shirt?
I have no idea. Purple?
Oh, so you got these
Because the
New
blue and the red
Balances,
are
and
so
you're like, wow,
close.
these are great shoes. And you just thought they were gray?
No, I thought the laces were gray. Obviously, I see the yellow. I mean, I'm not a crazy person. Wait, what color is my shirt, by the way?
It's blue and red, so you seeing purple makes sense.
Yo, this is red?
Yeah. I'm a little scared.
It's a fantastic shirt.
You know, there's like 15 different colors on the shoes, too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see the yellow. I see the brown. Is there brown?
There's a little bit of brown on there.
What question are we on?
Oh. Matt Mo's up first. Bonjour, Lord Ariel. It feels like yesterday, Kamaru Usman was considered by many to be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Then came the infamous headshot KO loss to Leon Rocky Edwards. Considering that devastating defeat, followed by the recent resurgence of Jones, Volk, and Islam in the pound-for-pound rankings, my question is, where would a dominant victory over Leon on Saturday put Kamaru in the pound-for-pound discussion? Wow. Didn't even think of that, to be honest. If he wins the trilogy, it would be his 7th title victory in one of the most highly competitive divisions in the UFC. Would it be enough to jump Islam or Volk? Thanks for being the #1 pound-for-pound show in combat sports. Thank you. No. Do you agree with that? And I don't know if New York Rick is here because he's got all the takes on the rankings.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's here, but
couldn't be bothered, huh?
I agree with you. I don't think he'd jump it. I think he'd go to 4. I think it'd be a really strong top 4.
Jones, Islam
Volk,
and then him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Because honestly, that's kind of where we're at right now, right? I think most people have it Jones, Islam Volk, Leon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you're crazy like the Bellator ranking guys who somehow have Usman 1 at 55 and then like AJ McKee 7, but yet in the pound for pound, AJ's above Usman. How's that possible?
Yeah.
And also, I said something wrong on Monday. The Bellator rankings aren't done by Bellator. They're actually done by journalists.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
And
no, I had no.
And they don't make them public. We don't know who the journalists are. I find that a little bit suspect.
Sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you need the transparency. Imagine you had the college football, like, coaches poll and you don't know who the coaches are.
Well, even in the AP poll, they give out the voters and their exact polls every week.
Yeah.
So, like, if someone had, say, like, an undefeated Georgia at, like, number 20, you could be like, why did you do that?
Why would you want to hide that if you're involved? Like, I don't know.
I agree. Usman number 5 right now in pound for pound.
Whose rankings?
Like the UFC's ranking.
Oh, they're going to get mad at you now.
Jones, Volk.
No, you got to reference MMA fight. They're going to come for your neck. Don't tell Shaheen. I hope he wasn't listening. He is going to come for your neck. Sheesh. All right, let's keep going. Ali, hello, Ariel and crew. Hope all is well. I'm excited to be in attendance on Saturday. Good for you. What do you think happens next for the welterweight title? In the below 3 scenarios: 1, Leon retains; 2, Usman retains; 3, Usman retains and retires. For me, he says, Leon versus winner of Masvidal Burns; 2, Usman Bilal; 3, Bilal versus the winner of Masvidal Burns, maybe Colby if Masvidal wins. First of all, 3, I don't think Usman's retiring, so we could get rid of that. The question is, can't be Usman retains, by the way. It's going to be Usman wins the belt back. But fair enough. Leon or Usman winning. All right, so if it's Leon winning, let's just stick with that. Let me look at the list. By the way, is Colby smart enough to just sit out this whole time? Does he get an immediate title shot? Might, right? There's no one there right now. There's no number one contender at 170. Gilbert's fighting Masvidal. I mean, that will change in a month. You've got Colby, you've got Khamzat. We don't know.
Bilal and Khamzat don't have a fight booked. I would love for either of them to fight Colby.
But then who's the number one contender?
I don't know. Whoever wins that, Colby, whoever, gets a title shot.
Yeah?
Shavkat, too.
Shavkat now 6. I wouldn't hate Leon versus Colby.
I'd like to see Colby fight someone.
Yeah, me too. But then we also don't have any clarity as to whether or not Khamzat's a 70 or an 85er.
Yeah.
So that's kind of screwing things up. I don't know.
Oh, look who decided to show up.
What, you just wake up?
Never mind.
Oh, he's gone?
It was Joe's fault.
Usman wins. I don't know, because he's already fought Colby twice. I'd love to see Usman versus Khamzat. That would be fun. Usman Bilal. I don't know. You know, I've been so focused on this fight, I haven't really thought about what's next. It's not really clear cut. There's no. I mean, it's Bilal. It's maybe Khamzat. Maybe
you say Colby's sitting out. I wonder if there's a world that Khamzat's sitting out and waiting to see if Usman wins, and if Usman wins, he just fights him.
I mean, weren't we kind of told, like, after the Gilbert win that he was going to be in line for a title shot? Wasn't that a thing? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah, me neither. Spud Greg. Hi, Ariel and crew. You guys had an interesting talk about instant rematches the other day. I personally have always thought that the instant rematches are lazy matchmaking. It holds up divisions and makes top contenders inactive because they don't want to risk the spot. So my question is, do you feel like there's been a great matchup that we missed out on because the UFC opted for an instant rematch instead? Also, doesn't an instant rematch make the result of the first fight kind of irrelevant? I mean, to a degree, this is what we talked about in this case, like with Leon and Kamaru. The legacy of the last fight kind of hangs in the balance of this fight. So, yes, the Edwards head kick may be my favorite moment in sport, but I don't know if I'll feel the same about it if he loses on Saturday. I wonder if Dan Hardy will be in Veronica's corner this weekend, given Dana's issues with him. Yes, he will be in his corner, and I'm very happy to hear that. Remember back in the day, Randy Couture had an issue with the UFC, and they didn't let him corner his son, his freaking son, Ryan Couture. Craziness. So, yes, I will admit I was worried about that. I'm glad to hear that you technically, if the person is not a criminal or, whatever, like, you should be allowed to have anyone who's eligible to be in your corner, especially if it's your husband, who is Dan Hardy. Like, whatever issues he may have with the promotion or they may have with him should have nothing to do with him cornering his wife or anyone for that matter. Anyone that he wants, anyone who wants to have him in his corner, in their corner, his or her corner, any teammate, training, whatever. Like, they're going into a fight. Let them have who they want to have in there. There have definitely been times where they've gone the instant rematch route. Like, I think with Cody and TJ, and there might have been someone else with Joanna and Rose. It's happened, but in this case, this was 100% the way to go. There was no one else. Cheeto Pancakes. What is up, Mr. Helwani? You guys keep messing with the name, and I'm not going to keep reading it because I don't even know what you're writing anymore. In wake of the highly debated bantamweight versus lightweight conversation, I would like to pose the idea of including the entire landscape of MMA in these divisions and not just the UFC alone. If we include the likes of Bellator, PFL, and 135 is hands down, without a doubt, the deepest and most talented division in all of men's MMA, and you can even make a case for that with boxing as well. If you want to include male and female boxing, 135 is without. I mean, even New York Rick, hater that he is, would agree with this. Cross combat sports, 135 is stacked, blows 55 out of the water. Sorry, New York Rick, but you're wrong here, Bappa. What do you have to say for yourself, New York Rick?
I mean, I don't do I have to say anything to something that's stupid? No, but obviously, if you include 7 different sports and weight classes that we were talking about, then it changes the argument. Yeah, of course. But that wasn't the conversation we were having. Much like you, he's moving the goalposts.
Wow.
But I agree with it. Yes, across global MMA, 135 is better. Oh. I don't disagree. Oh. I agree with that.
All right.
In terms of the UFC rankings, I think the poll and I think the Twitter conversation kind of spoke for itself, right? I don't really need to say more. I'm sure you saw
the Twitter conversation.
What the outcome of that was. It's not often you're on the receiving end of the 10-7.
Yeah. What?
That one was a little bit.
I'm not crazy enough to say that just because people disagree with me, it's not a 10-7.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Think so?
Overwhelming. Let's just look. There was some damage, some duration. It was all there.
Yeah, sure. Ben P. Hello. I just don't have the strength to argue this anymore. 125 though. I mean, if that's the case with 35, then you can see that 25 I was right. You can't say that you were right with 35 and not say I was right with 25 if I wanted.
Yeah, I'll for sure concede 25 because it seemed like people seem to agree, but I think those are closer. I wasn't as strong on that one. Lightweight, I'm pretty firm.
Oh, here we go. There's more. Ben P. Hello, Ariel and team. I was listening to your discussion about which is the best division in the UFC right now, bantamweight or lightweight, and I can't believe none of you guys picked up on this. Please see the below list. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, Kevin Holland. We have Wonderboy Masvidal, Jeff Neal, and RDA who are freaking gatekeepers, not to mention up-and-comers such as Ian Gary and Jack Della Maddalena. 170 is the deepest and most interesting division in the UFC. Please discuss. I'm shocked GC of all people missed this. Wow. Can I tell you? I don't hate what Ben just said, and now I'd like to rearrange my rankings after this information because he is right. That is a murderer's row. 135, 170, 155. 170 is better than 155. And GC
170 strong. 170 strong. I'll give him that. But much like some of lightweight as well, there needs to be a little bit of turnover. But yeah, 170 is strong.
Wow.
It's not a bad time for some of these divisions in the UFC. That's the takeaway, right? There's momentum and movement, and I think this goes to one of the questions that came up before. You stop with the immediate rematches, you get people fighting, you get the people off their top rankings and waiting for title opportunities because they're waiting for some immediate rematch to play out, and things start to happen. I can't wait for Kamaru and Leon to be done. Truly. I love the fight, but I just, what is happening to Khamzat? What is happening to Bilal? This is what happens. We need to move. But yeah, good. The UFC has some strong divisions right now.
So he specifically, for some reason, was disappointed in GC not picking up on this. I don't know why. Are you the...
yeah, I guess I'm the welterweight guy.
I guess I'm 135, he's 55, and you're 170.
Yeah, I guess I'm the 170 guy. I can be cool with that. I am a big fan of Khamzat and Shavkat and JDM, so it makes sense. Ian Gary, I've been known to back Ian Gary every once in a while.
Sure.
The future, they say.
Yeah. No, look, it's a great.
I'll take the role of the 170 guy.
Can I tell you what's the knock on 170? It's the same thing that I said about 55. In my sort of what's the most interesting way? A lot of these guys have fought for the belt already.
Yeah, okay,
you know what I mean?
Here you go, coming from my division.
Somehow in a conversation about
for the belt.
What?
But somehow in a conversation about what's the best and deepest division, fighting for the belt is a negative, right? Somehow.
Interesting. Fresh faces.
Best and interesting. Not the same.
You know what? My new rankings are 170, 155, 135.
Good. I'll take it.
Dominic, discussion for you and the crew. What's the biggest and/or most intriguing fight to make right now for the 135 strap? Let's pretend no fights are made right now. Aljo Suga, Aljo Cejudo, Aljo Cheeto, Aljo Sanhagen, Aljo Merab, Also, just wanted to say, loved your sit down with the Undertaker. Hope there's more to come in the future. There is. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was really great. What a big MMA fan he is too. It's awesome. And just down to earth, great guy who I've met and couldn't be nicer. Really. It's kind of surreal. Like when you're sitting there and it's like, wow, this is the Undertaker, the dead man. And he's just opening up as a regular dude. It's tremendous. Honestly, it's the one that's coming up. Aljo Henry is big business. Does anyone disagree with that? Aljo Henry is fun.
I think Aljo Merab would be, but they're not going to do it. But I think that's the like.
But
if
by the
that's
way,
the option, and he listed it.
Aljo Henry is the bigger fight.
Wait, but was the question like, what's a bigger pay per view?
He's just saying like, what's the biggest fight right now? And honestly, it feels like Aljo Henry's the big. And by the way, can I just say like, if Cheeto beats Sanhagen, and I know that's obviously easier said than done, and it's coming up in 10 days, amazingly. Why can't we get Cheeto versus Sean O'Malley #1 contender fight?
I was about to say, I don't.
Is that
think
not the
listed
biggest also?
Cheeto Sugar too? Because I am down for that.
This guy, did he list it? I don't know if he listed, but
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I think he was only
that's what I'm
thinking
most
of title
intrigued to
fights.
see.
but I'm just saying like, why can't we get that as the #1 contender fight in the summer?
100%. Love that. But is that all like? Is it possible to have the biggest UFC bantamweight fight without Sean O'Malley? I feel like maybe he has to be in that. No.
I'm just really interested in the style matchup of Aljo versus
Yeah.
Cejudo. Plus Cejudo coming back. I mean, Cejudo's, again, I think we've talked
Yeah.
about this in the past. Like, Cejudo for as, I don't know what the word is.
Cringe, annoying.
Yes,
Whatever.
as he may be. And I got love for him. And I don't know why he doesn't, whatever. I don't care. He is one of the best athletes that we've ever seen in the UFC. Most accomplished, like an Olympic gold medalist who then won a belt in 2 different weight classes. One of those wins came against Demetrius freaking Johnson at 125. Like, having him back in the mix is big business. In my opinion.
He's one of the best athletes, full stop.
Yeah.
Not in the UFC, not in MMA. He's one of the best athletes who's ever lived. Like, he is a legendary level athlete. Like, he deserves a ton of respect. Now, you can't carry that into the octagon, right? Sometimes there's a style matchup that's going to be tougher, and sometimes there's going to be ones that are easier. But I think Aljamain Sterling is a pretty good matchup for him. Good in the sense that I think Aljo has some skills that will counter his. I don't think it's going to be one-way traffic by any means. But yeah, Henry Cejudo is with a #1 with a bullet in terms of best all-time combat sports athletes. Like, he is a freak.
I can't wait to have him back. And honestly, I love the fact that it's happening in Jersey, close to where Aljo's from. He can't fight in New York. Like, that feels like a big fight. So I think they got that one right. The question is,
I like that fight.
You know, what happens next? Who is getting that shot next? If it's Cejudo who wins, first of all, are they doing
O'Malley?
Wait.
It's gonna be O'Malley.
By the way,
no
if
matter what.
Cejudo wins, are they running it back for Aljo?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you know they're not.
Yeah, man. With the
but listen,
rematches.
if
you're saying they wouldn't anyway. Yeah.
No, they're not. Aljo's going to be like, "Can I get my immediate rematch?" Obviously, he didn't have the belt for as long.
Yeah,
but we know they're not.
It also makes it. Then he just ushers in the 45 Aljo. You know.
Yeah,
sure.
If all of a sudden it becomes too difficult to kind of do that negotiation, and they're seeming like they're not with it, Merab, it's your time. I'm going up to 45, and that's okay, and I feel like that's all right. But
that's the thing, though. Does Merab get the next shot?
Nah, it's got to be O'Malley. Whoever wins is going to want O'Malley. And why not? Why wouldn't they do it?
Yeah, I agree. Feels like a bigger fight and a better stylistic matchup.
I will say this. I'm not sure how I feel. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this. Aljo at 45, is he not a little small for 45? I feel like he's at his best at 35. Like, he's a freaking tank at 35. It would feel a little bit unfortunate.
I think he'd be okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think he'd be okay.
I commend him, man. It's shades of DC and Kane. Like, I love it. I respect it immensely. Just from a selfish standpoint for him, you know, I wonder what's the best weight class.
You can't discount the idea of not having to kill yourself on the scale. Like, what benefit that will have to him at 45, even if he loses some of the physical advantages in terms of the strength and the size. Not having to make that weight cut, that has to be very tough because there's not a shred of fat on Aljamain Sterling at any time in his life. Like, that's an advantage in certain scenarios. So there's a give and a take. I think he'd be pretty successful at 45.
All right. Well, again, by the way, look at all these scenarios we're talking about. How many scenarios are we talking about at 55? Yeah, I mean,
Not the question.
it kind of says it all. Interesting, deepest, best. Zach W. Good day, Ariel. I'm traveling across the pond with my wife for the experience. As our pal Dana White likes to say, there is no better crowd than London. We're so pumped. I have 4 quick questions for you. What's your favorite UFC London moment? Golly, I mean, so many to choose from. If I have to pick one, I'd pick the one that I was at. Michael Bisping beating Anderson Silva. 2016, one of the best crowds, the best events that I've ever experienced. UFC 120 was a great one as well. Bisping, Akiyama, Hardy, Condit was tremendous. But if I had to pick one, it's Bisping getting that moment, because at the time we thought that was his title shot. Like, we thought that was his moment. That was the apex of his career. It was not going to get bigger than that. And of course, shortly thereafter, it got way bigger than that. Do you have any recommendations for us while we're in London? I mean, all these Londoners, they swear by the Nando's. They love the Nando's. I mean, if you like flags in your chicken, then go for it. Don't get it too spicy, because, you'll be spending a lot of time in the restroom. They love it. They swear by it. I mean, they can't get enough. All these guys, Sandu, I mean, they can't stop tweeting about the damn Nando's. It's chicken. It's chicken and rice. I mean, really? Like, what's so great about it? I don't know. Other than that, man, just take it all in. I'm no London expert, but, take it all in. Get there for the first fight. London is a beautiful, beautiful. What's funny? My brother's in London right now. My older brother. I wonder if he's going to go. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go to the fight. You think he's going to go, Frank?
I think so, now that you've said this.
Yeah, probably. What's your current prediction for the main event, and how? I don't make predictions, but if you guys want one. Do you think I should break my rule for this one, Frank?
Maybe you should poll the YouTube.
Oh, you think I should poll the YouTube? Leon, 4th round TKO.
Really?
Did you hear that?
I did. Leon, 4th round TKO.
Fuck, Frank. Jesus Christ.
Now it's my prediction.
Is there a fight outside of the main and co-main that you're really looking forward to? Yeah, I mean, I actually really like this card a lot. As I said, on Monday, if I had to pick one, though, always fun to see Gunny fight. I think it's a huge fight for Casey O'Neill against Jennifer Maia. I mean, Jack Shore and I are involved in a heated controversy. But I'm curious to see him fight Muhammad Mokaev. Lerone Murphy, solid. Joanne Wood, big one for her. The Veronica Hardy versus Juliana Miller fight. Miller is obviously a big time prospect. I like the vast majority of these fights. By the way, speaking of the Jack Shore controversy, for those that may have missed it, I'm still rattled by what transpired. Feels like this is a good time, because someone asked them about it at the media day today. But in case you missed it on Monday, we decided to do a virtual showdown, 3-on-3 darts, because he's been talking smack. He's been sliding my DMs constantly saying, oh, I could beat you. I'm better than you. I know this. I was like, you know what? Do you have one? Yes, he does have one. It's actually quite amazing, if I'm being honest. It's like all lit up and shit. It's crazy. Anyway, so I said, all right, you go 3, I go 3. We did it. I thought he got a 32. I ended up getting a 39, so I would win, keeping the streak alive. He then claims it's a 52, even though we had visual evidence of him potentially cheating. In any event, for those that may have missed it, here's what happened on Monday regarding Jack Shore's cheating ways. We're calling it Dartsgate around these parts. I mean, it's one of the biggest storylines heading into 286. Everyone's talking about it. Here's what happened in case you missed it.
No, go on. Let's go straight into it.
All right, here we go. Here's Jack Tank Shore with his first shot. Home turf virtual. Oh, what is that? What is that? Wait. What is that? What is that? What is that? Wait. What is that? What is that? Wait.
Home turf virtual. What is that? What is that? Wait.
Oh, 120.
Okay.
Okay, no pressure, Jack. 12. 12 total. Wait, it was 32? No, 20, and 12. Let me see. Bring the iPad over there. I want to make sure that you're not lying to us.
Chills watching
Here we
this.
go. Where's Jack? Bring the iPad over there.
Clearly said miss.
I think we're seeing your shirt.
Now
or
we're
something, 'cause
seeing
it's
nothing.
black.
I mean, what is he doing? He's
How do I
rearranging
spin
his
it?
whole house. He's changing his clothes.
Just bring it.
Oh,
up.
yeah,
going to the bathroom.
Oh, here we go.
What is
Okay,
going
wait,
on?
what do we see? We got a Ooh, is that a double 20? No,
mean,
it's not.
look at
It's
that.
a triple 20?
No, just inside.
Yeah, just inside. Okay, there it is. But we even have further video evidence, right? What do we got here? I think we have something that kind of hammers home the point, GC.
I mean, it's further zoomed in. Let's go to the tape here,
Please.
just to give
Shot.
people a better.
Home turf virtual.
This is as close.
What is that? What is that?
Miss.
Wait. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Miss.
Wait. What is that? What is that? Wait.
Home turf virtual. What is that? What is that?
How could that possibly
Look
be?
at the-
How could that possibly be under the red?
There's really no way. Look at that. It
How
is.
could it be
Ken
under the
Burns
red?
pan.
What is this? I mean, it's not even pointing in that direction. Look
it
at
would
that.
have to be pointing down. It would have to be pointing down. Actually, we had our forensics team here look at it. If we could go to my screen quickly here, just to show a couple images. So what we were just looking at,
Yes.
as you can see, the dart is facing straight out
Yes.
back towards Jack.
Yeah.
After our forensics went after it,
Oh my
you can
God.
see the straight line. If it was gonna be under the red, it would have to be tilted down. The feather would be more up in the air.
Yes.
It's straight across. I just don't know how it could possibly be under the red.
I mean, I'm at a loss for words. I mean,
I want to believe Jack as much as the next.
I've always known the
evidence
Shores
is
to be
damning.
great people, honorable people. I don't even know how you can defend this.
I mean,
Plus, it's one thing if it would have been like boom, boom, and we're like, huh, how does that look? Oh, no, let me show you. But the 10 seconds of blackness, I mean,
the saying miss is
oh, I forgot about that.
So that's
The miss and then him covering the camera, not like,
Yeah.
by the way, what is that black? Like what like if someone put their hand on top of the thing, you would still see kind of the palm. How does it go black like that? Oh, and then how about this part? What is it? How do you flip the camera? I mean, come.
Right.
the millennial, the
He
20.
probably would have been able to sell it if he hadn't said that.
How do you flip the camera? All of a sudden he's 85. I mean,
Yeah, I think the most damning evidence is the combination of saying miss and then the photo evidence.
so I mean, because if I'm being honest, you're saying what you're saying here, but I also heard you or saw you on Twitter say that you believe
Yeah.
him. So I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what side you're on at this point.
Listen, at first I believed them, and now I've spent the last 36 hours, I mean, just wrestling with this. I don't know what to think. I mean, I wish there was a jury we could leave this up to. I don't want to be the one that makes these accusations turn into,
YouTube
convictions
poll?
here.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, YouTube poll?
did Jack Short cheat? Yes, no.
Okay, all right. I'll
We
start
do that?
it up.
The 12
Yeah,
angry-
1 second.
By the way, are you the one who
YouTubers.
does the YouTube poll?
Yeah, with the current staff we have in, I'm the poll guy right now.
I mean, it's fine. It's a quick.
He's a pollster.
I'll just be right back.
Yeah.
Just got to go create the poll.
Wait, what? You have to leave to go create the poll?
He walks to the other side of the desk.
Why can't you do it from your computer?
I'm busy.
All right. No, I don't mean you specifically. Why can't he do it from his?
That's a lot of
Why does he have to change seats for that?
As you can see here, I'm just making the poll.
This is great.
I don't understand why he has to change seats. If I'm being honest.
I mean, I got to get
Look,
the access.
you were
to
on
the
your side of the
channel.
window. We're on our
All
side.
right. Okay, we move along. I mean, listen, I feel like the video evidence speaks for itself. The photo evidence speaks for itself. Disappointed. I saw, Shaky Shore, Jack's dad, speaking to PT today and saying that he was disappointed in me, that I'm a bad loser. I mean, I took the loss like a man. I even retweeted his victory tweet. But then the evidence was brought to my attention. And I mean, we just showed it again. And after those photos, which I did not see, now I feel even stronger about the fact that there was some funny business going on. Dicey, as a wise man once said. McKinney. But I don't want to take anything away from Jack. He's got a big fight coming up, 145 debut. I'm not trying to be a distraction here, but honor is honor, right?
Exactly.
Thank you. McKinney, Ariel, my brother, I share your enthusiasm for this weekend's card and cannot wait for the main event, more so than I was for the Jones fight. This is truly an amazing time to be a fan of the sport, and I look forward to your constant coverage to add to the excitement of the events. My question today is a hypothetical one. I thought while out on a run recently, and I thought I'd ask yourself and the team, which fantasy matchup would each of you like to see with the current stable of champions and one former challenger from any era? But you can't pick a past champion. Personally, I'd love to see the violence of Alex Pereira and Yoel Romero. Secondly, I asked the question last week about when Will Bronson hooked the nose up with a pair of the baklavas, but I didn't make the cut. I'm so glad to see the justice has been served. All the best to you. From Derry, Ireland. Yes, look at these. You see these, Frank?
These are so awesome. Look at the laces.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. You like my Wu-Tang socks?
I do.
Ain't nothing to F with. Man, it's a tough one. Okay, so former champ against a former contender, but never a champ. Golly. Who would that be? Former champ against, I mean, yeah, I guess you all and Izzy we saw. Someone who never won a belt. What's that weird noise in the studio? You hear that? Like the, it sounds like a dentist office.
It is a dentist office.
Is it? It's a recorder?
But yeah, but why would he hear that? And why aren't you on program?
Weird.
Sorry.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
my recorder. I don't know why it's so loud.
This is why he asked, is she on program? Because we're not consistent.
No.
Was that over the air?
All right, Frank.
No. Joe just fixed it. It was the light.
Oh.
I don't know what you guys were
Oh,
talking
Andy
about.
was wrong about something.
Yeah, wow. What about, I don't know. I mean, like a Dan Henderson. I don't know. New York Rick, you got a good one?
No, because I'm struggling to think of the people who didn't win the belt. It's hard to.
It's like a Gus, Dan Henderson. I mean, there's no like monster matchup there. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's got to be a heavyweight that I could pit against John Jones.
Leon versus Nick Diaz. John Jones.
Diaz is a good one. As is Nate. Nate could be a fun one against
John Jones heavyweight versus DC heavyweight.
DC was a heavyweight champ though.
Oh right, damn it.
Yeah, that's the problem. You kind of like get into the champs. I mean, there's always Jacare hanging out there. Jacare versus Alex could be fun.
Game Bread Boxing coming up, sneaking up on us.
Yeah. As long as it's not an April Fool's, I'm all in.
Well, you still think it's April Fool's?
No. Of course
Okay.
not.
Jeez.
No, I wasn't serious. I'm excited about.
I mean,
that.
it does feel
awesome.
like a little bit too good to be true, if I'm being honest.
I will say it's kind of flown a little bit under the radar, but I think once we get into crunch time, maybe after this pay-per-view, people will start ramping up for it. I'm excited. I mean, promoter of the year so far.
By the way, it's going to be a very busy day. Very busy day. WrestleMania, PFL, Joshua fighting. How do you feel about
WrestleMania? They've got 2 nights, so that's kind of cheating. It's like you take that one night off. We're gonna go to Game Bread Boxing.
Pretty stacked. Last year, Stone Cold wrestled on the first night.
It was on night 1.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
By the way, what do you think of this Canelo announcement? I mean the opponent, but him fighting in Mexico is cool. Like first time in 10 years or something.
For sure, the location is cool. I love the idea of Canelo finally fighting back in Mexico. But man, like he was just chasing greatness, and now it's like we're kind of.
Well, what's the
this
fight?
doesn't feel like a competitive fight. I don't know.
I don't mind it. What about
Canelo is so good. Like I think he right now, the Canelo of right now is one of the best boxers ever. And it just feels like every fight should be significant. But, he did just lose. So you have to kind of get him back on track. And that's kind of how boxing does. But man, it just feels like every fight should be something for, I guess the Mexico is enough in this scenario.
Oh, it's great. 55,000 people they're expecting. I tweeted yesterday, it's going to be great. He's fighting on Cinco de Mayo weekend. He's an institution. People are like, Cinco de Mayo doesn't matter. Mexico. It wasn't the point, jabrones. The point was Dana White himself was talking about, we should go to Las Vegas on Cinco de Mayo because he's not there. No, he's a pay-per-view institution on Cinco de Mayo. Plus you have him back in Mexico.
And those Mexican independence. Yeah. Those 2 days he owns.
Yes. It's great. It's no different than him fighting in Kansas. What are you talking about? Him fighting in Mexico is a big freaking deal.
Wait, somebody was saying it wasn't a big deal that he's fighting in Mexico?
No, they were saying him fighting on Cinco de Mayo weekend means nothing because Cinco de Mayo means nothing
because
in Mexico. I was just saying the tandem of 2. It's like you're checking off all the boxes. Yes. It's him in Mexico and he's on his weekend.
That's great.
No. The internet said it's not great. Sorry.
But there's limited fights we're going to have of Canelo left. I want them all to matter from a competitive standpoint. Because I think he's legend status. Like that dude is legit one of the best ever.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get him and Bivol maybe. Although I don't really care to see that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean we kind of I wouldn't hate it. I'll be honest.
Okay, let me ask you
wouldn't
this.
hate
Let me ask you this. Which fight are you more interested in, this one or the highly anticipated Canelo versus Kamaru Usman boxing match? You know, there's
We talked about
really into
some non-champions getting a shot.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Kamaru can reclaim the title, that opens the door for Canelo Alvarez versus. No, I can't even pretend.
Yeah,
I can't even pretend. If either one of them stepped for 13 seconds into the other's realm, it would be an absolute wrap. Like, there's just not a world where either of them could even hang for a minute in the other's realm.
No one wanted to see that. But I am excited to see how, like, it's a big spot for him, right? You get knocked out. There's so many questions going into this fight. How much did the altitude play a factor in it? Leon's first title defense, Leon as the man, you know, do the nerves, the tension, or, you know, was that the case in the first fight? Now he's a veteran of pay-per-view main events. And then also the biggest one of them all, the actual tangible one is, how does this guy respond, Kamaru, from getting knocked out brutally, right? Does he get gun shy? Is he slow to pull the trigger? Is he a little bit worried too much about the kid? Like, all that stuff wasn't that long ago, 7 months ago.
I'm fairly confident Kamaru Usman is not going to be rattled by the fact that Leon knocked him out that way. I think he's taken an appropriate amount of time off and kind of come to terms with that. But I do think there's a possibility that Kamaru Usman sees the finish line, and he's admitted as much. Like, he's not going to be around forever. And I don't think it's necessarily the aspect of, like, I don't think Kamaru Usman is quote unquote washed. I don't think Kamaru Usman is done. But once you shift into I can see the finish line mindset, something changes. There is something that changes. So it will be interesting to see what the hunger level is when he knows, like, these are some of his last fights. But he's so good. He was the number one pound for pound, like, not a long time ago. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what version of Kamaru Usman shows up. But I really don't feel like the knockout is going to linger, if I'm being honest. He seems mentally strong, and I don't think that will be a factor.
All right. Andrew from Alaska. Hello, Ariel and crew. In light of the recent darts scandal, and by the way, I do think we have an update here. So far, 75% of votes are saying, yes, Jack Shore did in fact cheat. That's what the people are saying. Anyway, back to the question. I was curious, you or anyone on the crew had a favorite sports scandal? On or off the field, any sport, much love from up north. Favorite sports scandal?
Inflategate, or was it Deflategate?
That was the worst. So,
yours has got to be the frozen envelope, because it granted you Patrick Ewing when we all know that was.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Yeah.
Right? You love that one.
You think that was rigged? You think it's 100%? I mean, great. No. I'm so happy
the
with
Astros with the
he said what's your favorite? That's
I wish they did that more for the next over the last 20 or so years. The Astros one is a great one. There's the Black Sox scandal from back in the day. There's Pete Rose, I guess. Is Pete Rose a scandal? I don't know.
With the prevalence of what betting has turned into,
know,
it feels like that one's like a retroactive. Like, we gotta let Pete.
Listen,
off the hook
if
here.
John Jones is retroactively giving himself a pass for everything, Pete Rose could do
perfect.
Pete Rose could do the same. John Jones' doctor is saying, "Hey, John, I know you're good. I've looked at it all. You're good."
Yeah, Pete, you're good. I like that.
Scandal. Like, you know, it's a classic one. It's like the Jordan going to Atlantic City to gamble in the middle of the Knicks series in 1993. That's one that people love talking about. People also love talking about, I don't know if this falls under the scandal umbrella. Like, was he forced to retire? Was he not forced to retire? All that stuff.
Yeah, that's a legit. I think that's a legit scandal.
Is that a scandal, or is that like a conspiracy?
I guess that's speculation. That's like rumor. That's like, Jed dropped a great one. The Bishop Sycamore thing, the fake college high school football team.
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah. What about the one with wasn't there a Yankees pitcher that they said, was it Danny Almonte? Yeah, it was Danny Almonte, where they said he was like,
he ended up playing for the Yankees?
No, wait, is Danny Almonte the kid who caught the ball?
No, he's Danny Almonte, who was older than his birth certificate.
Right. Did he ever play? No, but I think there was like a whole controversy about it.
Yeah, he was older in Little League than his birth certificate.
Oh, Jeffrey Mayer was the kid who caught the ball. Remember that one?
Yes. Yeah. I
Tony
did.
Tarasco pointing up.
And then obviously Bartman, right?
Oh, Bartman. Fuck. Isn't it amazing that no one ever found Bartman? I mean, that's 20 years ago. 2003, right? Poor guy. What a get that would be, right? Could you imagine someone getting Bartman? I bet he shows up on like ESPN radio game night one night and someone's going to send out the email. I got Steve
Is
Bartman.
Connor even with us? He would love that.
Oh, Steve
There he
Bartman
is.
joined game night tonight.
Yeah.
We've got the clips for you.
Oh my God. Could you imagine what that interview would be like?
They did a 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah, without him.
Yeah. The 30 for 30 was great.
Yeah, it was. There was one guy, wasn't there a writer that found him in the parking lot?
And he like said that he didn't want to talk about
Right.
it.
Fuck. Can you imagine being that guy who tracks him down and finally gets him? And then I feel bad.
You
for
can
the
see
guy.
it on his face from the second it happened. He was like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Oh, it was horrible. It felt so bad for him with his headphones.
I do too.
It felt horrible. I mean, I was so happy that the Cubs won a few years later just because of him.
Yeah, a few years later, it was like what, 12 years
16?
later?
Yeah, I know. But it was like, geez, this poor guy finally off the hook.
I guess.
Yeah, do you have a favorite scandal?
Nah, yeah, we're throwing out some good ones.
All right.
Pete Rose is a good one.
Yeah, of course.
Damon Martin said Manti Te'o. I don't love
that's
that one because
that's
it just
a
felt
great
so
one.
bad.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's hard to say
They
that
all
any of
kind of
these
feel
are your
bad.
favorite, right? Because
Yeah,
they're
they
all
don't
kind
really
of
feel
negative.
good. Except for the Nick, except for the frozen
Nick one
envelope.
is, yeah.
boy.
Spygate.
Oh yeah, Spygate was a good one.
Donahue, the whole
Dartgate.
betting thing.
Fuck those Patriots.
But they all feel bad. That's the thing. I don't have a favorite because they all suck.
Yeah, the Patriots cheated multiple times. And isn't it amazing that this guy smashed his phone and like everyone still hails him as some kind of hero? What's better, the guy who smashed his phone to avoid evidence or someone who like took, I don't know, speed as a baseball player? The guy smashed his phone. He smashed the evidence.
It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy. And we talk about him like he's like holier than thou. He smashed his freaking phone. Come on. And then he was like taking the air out so that they can catch the ball. I mean, it's crazy stuff. You know,
my biggest thing with the Deflategate game was that they won like 40-3 or something.
It doesn't matter. Small
It
detail.
was never even close.
What about the stories of the Celtics back in the day where they would say like Red Auerbach would turn off all the AC and all that and make it
Yeah.
The heat in the
or
garden.
blast the heat in June? Love that. That's great stuff. Juan Sanchez. Hello, Ariel and the MMA Hour crew. I watched your BT Sport interview with, by the way, it's sport, not sports. I know that's weird for Americans, but it's sport. They call it sport over there. Like even the tabs on the websites, it says sport, not sports. Did you know that, Frank?
I honestly wasn't listening. I was asking a question.
Frank was asking about another scandal.
Which one?
Bounties in the NFL. John Madden, the Saints.
Oh, what's his name? Sean Payton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. I mean, again, bit negative.
I feel like they're all kind of negative.
Yeah. So what were you asking me?
No, forget it. With the Undertaker over the weekend, fantastic. You asked him about the WrestleMania streak and when he thought it should have ended. I'm curious to get your opinion on how this legendary streak should have ended or ended at all, and how you would have written the culminating story of the Undertaker. In my opinion, it could have ended with the final Triple H Hell in the Cell match with Shawn serving as referee. Guess what? Here's how it should have ended. It should have never ended. It should have been perfect. He should have been Mr. WrestleMania. I mean, look, other sports dream of scenarios like this. You can actually make them happen. It should have never ended. Brock should have never been the guy. He didn't need it. He doesn't need it. He never needed it. And certainly not. And how about the story where he said that Edge was approached about being the guy and said he didn't think he should be the guy. Wow. What a Canadian mensch. And then the other story that they were considering Vladimir Kozlov being the guy. No. It should have never been anyone. It should have been his forever. King Zalo, greetings, Ariel. Hope all is well. Merab winning during the weekend. What do you think about teammates fighting each other?
I did know that.
Yeah. Should they just do it and cash the check? Or do you tend to think that fighting his teammates will sour the relationship and possibly end in one of the fighters leaving the gym? Would love to know everyone's take on this. You know who should have the say on this? The fighters. If they don't want to fight, don't fight. And ultimately, they know what the repercussions are. The repercussions are he's not getting a title shot. And guess what? Merab seems at peace with it all. The idea of forcing someone or threatening someone or saying, I know how this story plays out and you better not make this mistake. Like, what? Let them fight whoever they want to fight. That's the way it should be. And if they don't want, it's like, no one's saying you should hold up the division. No one's saying you should strip. Like, he doesn't want the fight, so he'll fight someone else. Or he's going to wait his turn. I don't know. I don't believe in forcing these guys to fight. That's something I feel very strongly about. Let them fight who they want to fight. And if they know the repercussions, then they're allowed to face the consequences. And they seem prepared to face the consequences. So just let them be. Can't force someone. They say it themselves. We don't force anyone to fight. All right, so then don't. If he doesn't want the title shot, doesn't want to fight his friend, then I respect it. Wild Bill the Thrill. For some reason, my ears are hurting me today, Frank. Ariel, been a fan of MMA and your show for quite some time, and I was wondering why I liked your show so much. I realized the gratefulness and genuine care you have for all your guests is what I believe separates you from all the rest. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. My question is, any rumblings on a Poirier fight? In fact, I spoke to Mr. Dustin Poirier. Today, by the way, is Dustin Poirier Day in Louisiana. So happy Dustin Poirier Day. Happy DP Day. Dustin's in a tough spot. He's very frustrated. There's no good opponent out there for him. There's no one. The best opponent out there for him is not under contract right now. His name is Nathan Diaz. That's the best opponent. I don't know who he's going to fight. And he hasn't fought since November. And the guy he beat has this big fight against Conor McGregor. I don't know. Tough one. P.S. He says, I think Frank is so unintentionally funny. What do you think of that, Frank?
Yeah.
No. What the hell is Dustin Poirier going to fight? What the hell? Charles. Booked. Gaethje. I guess he could fight the winner if like Fiziev wins, but then he's going to have to wait so long. Who's the favorite in the Fiziev fight?
Fiziev.
Fiziev. Is it Fiziev or Fiziev?
I don't know. I always say Fiziev.
Yeah.
I'll trust you to be right, though.
I think it's Fiziev. Yeah, nothing. Tough spot. Testament to his longevity, to his success. He's fought a lot of these guys and beaten a lot of them. Eric. Shalom, Ariel, and crew. I'm wondering at what point you think the influencer fighting starts to become a real issue in relation to what the casual audience thinks of combat sports. I fear basically the entirety of Gen Z who grows up on TikTok and short form content will believe that the likes of Jake Paul and Tommy Fury are the highest level boxers based solely on their ability to generate social media interest and hype. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I don't think so. I think that these people are still going to be able to decipher what's, high level boxing and what's not, what's high level fighting and what's not. I think that, and by the way, they're still interested in the Jake Pauls and Tommy Furies of the world because of what they mean to them, how they make them feel and all this stuff. But I really don't think that they're going to be affected. Like their view of boxing will be altered or affected. Like, I think maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I kind of feel like they know what it is and they're okay with that. And I kind of feel like if they saw Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence or Alexander Usyk or Naoya Inoue or anyone like that, Tyson Fury, et cetera, I think they'll be able to say, oh, that's higher level than this. Still liking this, but also, and even maybe even enjoying this more than that, but recognizing that that is higher level than this. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I tend to think that a rising tide lifts all boats, but maybe I'm crazy. Chris, hi Ariel. If I remember correctly, you used to get guests to sign a whiteboard before they came into the studio. What happened to the whiteboard, and do the guests still do this? No, that never happened. What happened was when we were at the old studio in ESPN, we had an ESPN flag, and we would get everyone to sign the flag, and then we put the flag up for auction, and then we gave all the money from the auction to Ray Borg for his medical costs for his son. Do you remember that, New York Rick? That was fun.
I do. I mean, and also it was an incredible list of athletes who signed that.
It was like
that was a
DC
really-
Jones. It was a pretty good run that we had. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, we could do something like that now, but we don't anymore. Gaza Brew. Hey, just a quick little question. Looks like you have a little V-shaped scar on your head. Just wondering if it has an interesting story. Yes, it's right over here. My mom says it came from when I fell as a kid, but she doesn't really remember what happened. And I don't know.
That's
like,
suspicious.
Yeah. What do you think? She gave it to me?
No, I'm just.
Fuck. Well, we're about to find out in like a couple of minutes if she's listening or not, because there's a bit of a delay. If she is, look out.
Oh no. I just don't put two and two together.
Yeah. AJ, I really don't know, but I was told it's when I fell. AJ Hawk, what? Oh, what? Hello, Ariel and crew. With the UFC coming back to New Jersey and not being that far from the studio, it got me thinking, will we ever see the great Mr. Ariel Helwani ask a question at a UFC press conference again? Sure. Why not? I mean, are you dying to see me ask a press conference question? Like, what's the big deal? We've done it a lot.
They are pretty entertaining.
Are they?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pop?
Right?
The pop would be.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it.
Pop would be immense.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying, does anyone want to see it? Yeah, I want to see it.
Could you imagine the pop? If they used to do this thing, I don't know if they do it anymore, where they stick like a mic stand for the crowd, and the crowd gets to ask questions. I don't think they do that anymore. But imagine if I just.
That's awesome.
I think they do it during the fan Q&As only now.
Got it.
Where it's like, oh, they'll have like the guest panel, and all of a sudden you can ask. So maybe you just go up there, fan Q&A.
Imagine.
Bunch of young men and women coming to ask questions.
You can sing "You're Just Too Good to Be True" to Ali Holm,
wow.
like that.
That's
like
a
that
deep
one
cut. You're just too
Quick
good
question
to
for
be-
Dana.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's like a fan Q&A thing, it's usually not with him.
Nah, yeah. Over here, right over
Yeah,
here.
like for example, I think Tom Aspinall is like going to be on one of those like
30th
for
anniversary
London.
thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that some UK outlet wrote a story on his? They wrote a whole article on him saying that he exhausted the entire library of that website.
Oh yeah.
I think
didn't
the quote is
understand what he was
completed.
saying.
He completed it.
Yeah.
In real time, I thought he was saying some video game I'd never heard of.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't understand it until
See that, Frank?
I did see that.
Do you know that company's from Montreal?
I didn't know
Shout
that.
out.
Yeah. There's a whole Netflix like multi-part series coming out about them. But yeah, I learned recently they're from Montreal too. Crazy.
Nice.
Jamal 2020, Aloha Ariel. Yesterday, as you know, was Pi Day. Yes, my kids were telling me about it. 3.14, as all the nerds know. I made a nice peach pie in celebration. The question is for the squad. What's everyone's favorite pie? Ooh. Well, I like pecan pie. They got pecan. Now, I know people say pecan. I call it pecan. Pecan pie and apple pie. But if it's apple pie or any kind of fruit pie, has to be warmed up. What do you think?
With ice cream?
I mean,
A la mode, as they say?
a la mode is tremendous. You know why I say a la mode?
No.
Anyone?
I don't catch this.
Little Miss Sunshine? Anyone ever see
I
that?
fell asleep.
I have seen it.
So good. You remember when she orders the a la mode?
I haven't seen it in like 15 years.
Such a good movie. What about you? Favorite pie? I feel like you're gonna say like rhubarb or some shit like that.
Strawberry rhubarb.
Who?
You.
Me?
He likes a peach
Yeah, me.
cobbler.
I think
probably.
it's me.
Rhubarb is your favorite pie, Rick?
No. It's not.
Strawberry
What is my
rhubarb.
favorite?
Does anyone eat
Someone's,
rhubarb
by the way,
shit?
someone's favorite pie in there is rhubarb.
Mine is key lime.
Now, are we going? We have to go classic.
good choice.
Right? We're not
Key
going
lime with
like,
ginger snap crust,
go-
not
go whatever
graham
you want.
cracker.
Do whatever you want.
because it's like my wife on the back of a Philadelphia cheesecake package got this like Reese's peanut butter cheesecake
Yeah,
pie recipe,
I've had this
and
before.
that
It's
is
Wow.
manna to the heavens.
I've never heard of something.
Classic, like probably apple. You can't beat a classic. It's probably got to be apple.
Warmed up?
I'm more
being too
cold,
quiet.
but if we're gonna
Whoa.
warm it up,
Wow.
we're gonna warm it up and put ice cream on it to like counter the warmness. I don't like just like pure hot. That's not a good.
Yeah,
Do
just
you
warm it up a
prefer
touch.
a lattice on top or just solid?
A what?
What?
The crust of an apple pie can be done as a lattice.
That
or
kind.
solid. I
that
swear
kind.
to you guys.
Yeah, I do like the crumbly.
By the way, I've never
pie.
heard of
I
that
like
word
that.
in my life.
Lattice. Lattice. Look, apple
so-
pie is a
you're
very
so much more
American
cultured.
thing. I'm not too surprised.
Wow.
Wow, says the guy from
You
Arizona.
say you say that like you're
break over
not
there.
American and like you're judging. What is your pie selection?
Key
Yeah.
lime.
Put on your monocle and tell us.
Okay, so the thing about key
Well,
lime
actually,
is, do you eat it frozen?
No,
no, like a fresh key lime pie.
No, you know you're supposed to freeze key lime pie.
Don't
no,
give me
chilled.
that.
I ate it chilled.
No, it's got to be.
Who? What? Who eats it frozen?
Yeah, I'm really scared.
I've had it frozen on a stick, dipped in
Are
chocolate.
you thinking about popsicles?
good.
No, you ever go to a place called Joe Stone Crab in Miami?
No, but
No.
I'm familiar with it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Their claim to fame is the key lime pie, in addition to obviously the crab and all that. And you know, if you buy like the full pie, you know what they give you? They give you a full massive can of whipped cream,
That's
Wow.
sick. Yeah,
and you just go to town. But it's frozen. It's like you open it and it's frozen.
that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really good
It says-
frozen.
It says on the wrapper, it's like, please thaw for 45 minutes
No.
before eating.
I mean, we certainly don't do that.
Who's got time to wait?
No, who's got time? All right, so you're key lime. Rick is rhubarb, and what kind of a psycho eats rhubarb pie?
It's pretty good.
Oh,
like
it's
a strawberry rhubarb.
It's sour.
That's the.
You ask and the devil appears and Frank
Yeah.
jumps in.
I'm
to
here
talk
talking about how I like key
rhubarb.
lime pie, and you're like, oh, it's sour. Like, yeah.
No, I like key lime.
I know,
like
but key lime
lime
obviously
pie
is the
is
flavor
delicious.
profile I'm looking for.
I guess. What about UGC? It's got to be peach for Atlanta, right? Georgia.
Peach
That's more
is
of a
good.
cobbler, right?
Like, all right, they call them pies, but there's like fried peach pies that are like incredible. If I'm
Fried
going,
peach pie. Holy
oh,
shit!
dude, it's amazing.
They
It's like-
fry it.
It's not like your typical piece of pie, though. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like an empanada, but it's stuffed with
Empanada.
peaches.
What
it's
the
like
hell?
It's like a fried pouch. It's like something you
Hot
can have in
Pocket.
Georgia. It's amazing, though. And it's stuffed with peaches, if we're going to go that route.
That sounds
Normal
amazing.
pie, I might agree with Frank. I love key lime pie.
Key lime.
Pecan pie is good, too.
Key lime's
Key lime
pretty
is
good.
great.
Yeah. I'm
Especially in the
shocked.
summer.
No one said blueberry. Mixed
Blueberry's
blueberry,
great.
By the way, mixed berry.
Yeah.
Mixed berry. great.
That's from me. Got to have it warm. Got to have it
All we've basically solved is that all of us love every type of pie.
Yeah.
I
would
can't
even like a
emphasize
pumpkin
enough
pie.
ginger snap crust, not graham cracker. And what does that sound?
What's going on?
Who is doing
What is happening?
That's a phone call.
Oh,
All right,
Just got to
wow.
see who it is.
is it the Notorious?
I
No,
don't think
no,
so.
no.
But I still have to say.
Can you name what band did that song?
What?
Notorious.
What about it?
The name of the band that did the song.
You mean like for the?
Duran Duran. So
Oh, I thought it was Biggie Smalls.
I like it.
By the way, a lot of people were telling me, oh, the guys who killed Tupac, they were found, this and that. I feel like this is something that you would know 100%.
From what I know, it's open ended,
Okay.
and there's a lot of cover-ups implicated.
Who just called GC?
I don't know yet, but it had an F bomb.
It had an F bomb.
Yeah.
Seems distressed.
Why?
Maybe he wants to be back on the air and he's too busy taking phone calls.
Is it work related?
Yeah.
It is.
Stand by.
GC, what could you tell us? Da, 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 da,
We're gonna have to come back to that.
Yeah, we need elevator
Yeah, let's
music for
move to
this.
the next question.
Ariel, well, in a couple of minutes, hopefully we're going to be joined by Francis Ngannou, unless this is Francis canceling on us, but I don't think it is, right?
No, you're good.
Da, 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 da. African Dave. Ariel, you've interviewed many physically intimidating people. I'm curious to know if you were ever intimidated by someone's intellect. I say this as I think your brain operates. What was that? What is going on? At a higher capacity than most people. Was that you who just did that,
It was
Frank?
Frank.
Wow. Was that like a?
Somebody is joining the same Zoom that Eric is on.
Oh, well, Eric, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. hence all the 10-7s in your sphere of, that's probably Francis, of conversations, interviews. Whose brain have you been fascinated by and why? I thought of this question during the Rappaport interview /chat, which gave me the impression that his wit and gift of the gab allows you to chill and engage more as an equal as opposed to the traditional interviewer. Love the show, especially the live format for some reason. Me too. Thanks to all of you and the crew for the entertainment, opinions, and news. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, gosh, whose brain have I been fascinated by? I mean, pick one. They're all fascinating people. I mean, like a Dan Hardy's a fascinang's guy. Francis Ngannou's a fascinating guy. Everything that he's been through. More often than not, I am interested in their... Chito Vera is a fascinating guy. DC's a fascinating guy. Bisping's a fascinating guy. Anthony Smith. I mean, like a lot of these people come from different walks of life. They're different cats. And that's why I'm fascinated by them. You know? So there's just different levels. Eddie Hearn is a fascinating guy. I really enjoy talking to him. Yeah. And, you know, I get to do these other sort of interviews. And, you know, on my YouTube channel, I'm fascinated by those people. Paul Heyman, great shout from New York Rick. Paul Heyman. I mean, I could talk to Paul Heyman about how his mind works, about the business, about all that stuff. Fascinating guy. Paul Heyman might be the answer, by the way. He might be the guy. Number one. Bobby Knuckles Boxing. Ariel, London events are known for the incredible atmosphere they produce each and every time the octagon lands this side of the Atlantic. On the topic of crowds and atmospheres, what do you think are the top 5 atmospheres across all sports? Or what 5 events have produced the best atmospheres in sport? Don't be limited in your answer. I'm talking everything from the Gold Cup in Cheltenham. I want to say something about that in a moment. I definitely butchered that. Cheltenham. The last day at Augusta, Six Nations game at Murray Field, when the Scots belt out their anthem, or when the Irish go crazy for the All-Ireland finals. Greetings and thanks from Ireland. Hope we could see you when Katie's Homecoming makes the top of the list. By the way, this is before.
Yeah.
Clutch. Very good friend of mine named Rob Armstrong, who works for BT Sport, told me that I need to get into the Gold Cup. And I was like, what's the Gold Cup? I thought the Gold Cup was like some sort of like North American, South American soccer tournament every few years. And then I saw a bunch of the UK people that I follow. Laura Woods was there from Talk Sport, DAZN, Sky. And I was like, what is this Gold Cup? How did I miss this Gold Cup action? Everyone's talking, like, this is like the Super Bowl of horse racing. Do you guys know about this? GC, you have to know about this.
No, but a bunch of people told me about it last year. The name that you just said.
Why are you so out of breath?
I was just sitting up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
mean-
that's the thing. Everyone's all into it. Are there odds on it? Like, why is everyone
Yeah,
talking
there's
about it?
definitely odds.
Why is this such a big deal?
I think it's just a big horse race. I think it's like the R Kentucky Derbies. That's what
In
it
the
is for me.
UK?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so.
Well, I can't say I've ever I don't even know how to watch it.
Say the name of it again.
The Gold Cup?
Yeah, but where does it take place?
Cheltenham? See, I've learned, like, it's Tottenham. It's Nottingham. So I'm going to guess that the HAM is, so Cheltenham?
Yes.
In any event, it's called the Gold Cup. I mean, listen, when I watch those Nottingham Forest games, Nottingham Forest today. I mean, that's great. What are some, I have to say, like Cameron Crazies, right? Duke. That's great.
I was gonna say college is probably where you're gonna get it
College
in the US,
football.
right? Like it's
And
college.
it's what I watch the least of.
Oh yeah, college football.
Like, okay, but is there a great NBA crowd that's like insane? No, it's all kind of standard, right?
KSW show in Poland.
No, I'm talking like general sports. Is there a great football crowd that's, a Bills game is nuts. Bills games are nuts.
Raiders fans are pretty crazy.
But it's
There's
nothing.
definitely certain stadiums and fan bases that get the nod, but it's not on the level that we're talking here,
Packers
where it's like
fans.
pandemonium.
It's not European soccer level.
Yeah.
It's not anything like this. I guess college football. I mean, GC,
No, college football.
you watch the most, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the fans are insane.
More than NFL.
Way, way, way more.
More than baseball, obviously.
When I was in college, I went to a game at Tennessee. Tennessee wasn't even that good. They sold it out, 110,000 people there, checkerboarded the stadium where one section's orange, one section's white, all the way around, like going absolutely crazy. The city shut down for it, and we beat them 41-0.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'm going to get hated for calling this sports, but I feel like pro wrestling is up there in terms of just
Oh, yeah. Like
certain
the scene that I
crowds,
saw in
certain
Montreal.
locations.
The scene that I experienced in
I think
Montreal.
pro wrestling's probably one of the better traveling shows where you know that the crowds are always going to be pretty nutty.
I will continue to harp on college football. Biggest stadiums in the world.
College football for sure.
Like they got like
Is up
7 or 8 stadiums.
College
that
basketball,
hold
not
more than
bad.
100,000. Oh, college basketball is great.
UNC.
If you're going to a big one,
Yeah, it's crazy that the American sports, I don't know why, nothing compares to what I see on Premier League. Nothing. NBA, like
Apex.
I think college
Yeah.
would be it.
you watch like a Laker game or even a Knick game. It's
I tried.
it's nothing. It's nothing like what we see over there. Yeah. So I guess college is the answer.
I went to a Montreal Canadiens game.
Pretty good.
I mean, this was like in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, it's loud.
It
No,
was,
it's loud.
Yeah, it was hype.
It doesn't feel the same. There's no singing. There's no chanting. There's no, they react to certain things, but it's nowhere near the same. There was one, it does come out a lot in combat, I would say, right? Like a big Conor fight or a big, boxing match. It comes out there, like Tyson back in the day. But yeah, I
The
would.
scenes for AJ in the UK were nuts. Like
Yeah.
there's moments that can feel that big, but
I would give the nod to our European friends.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. We have seen some good, oh man, I mean, like the Irish crowds and all that. We've seen some good crowds in Canada. Canada's had some loud ones, but nothing compared to all this other stuff. Brandon Frankie, hello, Ariel and crew. My question for today is for GC. I'm wondering, if this cold streak he is on has only been in MMA or if it's been the same bad luck across other sports. Also, which other sports are his favorites to bet on? Thank you guys for all you do.
Yeah, I mean, with how much I've been betting on like MMA and how much I have to focus on it, I don't really bet on any other sports unless it's just strictly for fun. Like if I'm with my friends, like I went to the Devils game, they bet on the Devils and I lost there. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really been betting other sports, so the cold streak is strictly to MMA. So it's just a cold streak period. Favorite sports to bet on? Anything. If I'm like with people, like that's my favorite thing to do is bet with people, like with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Hockey.
high level boxing.
What is it? What do you mean?
I mean, are you not betting on boxing or?
No, yeah, I've been on
Okay,
boxing.
okay.
I've been pretty good at boxing, but that's like scarce.
Oh, okay.
Every few weeks. Why are you talking about your Jake Paul pick?
Maybe.
What's the most random sport or thing you've ever bet on?
Oh man,
Like the most obscure.
Didn't you try to do a line on the Nathan's hot dog contest?
oh no, I've been on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest many a times. Yeah, I mean honestly, I have no shame. I'll bet on anything. If they put out a line for it, I will bet on it. I mean during the pandemic, there were some days where it was Madden Sims.
That to me is crazy.
Dude, NBC put on a virtual Kentucky Derby with the greatest winners, and like
During the pandemic?
during the pandemic, and like I hosted like people at my house, and
Wow.
we like had drinks and made it a big thing. And
Social
and I-
distancing?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we were fine, and yeah, I mean, a book put out odds for it, and
You're kidding.
No, and we took Secretariat and won, and it was a crazy race.
Were you? And this
I'm
was,
shameless.
This was on NBC?
It was on NBC, yeah, dude. When Bundesliga started back up,
Yeah.
I would go over to my friend's house. We bought the glass boots because it was a German football league, and we would get up at like 8 a.m. and watch Bundesliga all day, betting on all these teams that we had never heard of 3 weeks before, and like we were drinking mimosas out of glass boots at 8:30 in the morning.
Didn't Erling Haaland score the first goal?
Yes. We became Dortmund fans
Yeah.
because of Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Erling Haaland's so great." I'm like, "Did you even know him in his Dortmund days?"
Don't you have his jersey?
Yeah. I had the 9 jersey. Yeah. Oh, like we became big Dortmund fans. We would play their song every time they scored. We were getting noise complaints on Saturday mornings at like 9 a.m. during the pandemic. It's a great time.
There's-
It was a ton of fun.
In that month and a half or so before it came, because it came back in early May, right?
Yeah.
Were you like? Did you feel like you were like?
Nah, not jonesing.
No.
I mean,
Did you feel empty that you couldn't do anything or no?
nah, not empty. But I won't lie. Like I definitely got a nice little serotonin release when I saw the Bundesliga lines.
Wow.
I was
Did
like,
you bet on the first UFC back, even though you weren't?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
You watched it.
Oh yeah, the Fight Island
Yeah.
in the Usman
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Yeah.
Big island luau themed party at TST's house. I mean, everyone wore Hawaiian shirts. Like we did the whole thing.
Oh, you guys all wore Hawaiian shirts for the event in a
yeah,
closed arena in Abu Dhabi.
yeah. But it was the whole.
That was the
Fight
biggest scam of all time. I
Yes,
mean, it was
yes.
brilliant marketing and promoting. I remember they would have me on the ESPN shows, like, tell us about this Fight Island. What is it going to look like? I'm like, it's going to be in a black arena. It won't look any different than the arena they were just in Jacksonville.
Island. Yeah, and I think the artist series poster for it was
Yeah.
like all of them parachuting into an island to fight. Yeah, I had
Exactly right,
We
it
had
was.
tiki torches and stuff. Like that's how serious we got. Yeah,
Wait, who got the tiki torches?
TST. Yeah, it was a big
Indoors or outdoors?
No, it was outdoors.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There's
Great
these
times,
guys-
great memories. Honestly, this is just going back memory
This is
lane.
not great memories. This is depressing
Degeneracy?
memories. No, this is depressing. I feel like I appreciate sports and all the things we took for granted so much more. Like that feeling hasn't gone away just yet.
You should have seen me. I mean, that's where like my Usman fandom like really started up. I was like square dancing around the basement because he was doing the toe stomps. I was loving it.
There's some guys on TikTok. I don't know the specific account. It might be multiple, who like their whole thing is taking over under lines on like random stuff. For example, order some fries from Chick-fil-A. They'll go, I think it's there's 17 fries in there, or there's 17 cuts in the lattice cut of it, or stick a piece of paper out the window over under 35 raindrops on the piece of paper, and then they'll sit there and count it. They'll judge how good the over under line was, and then winners, losers. It's some real like intense stuff. I can
love it.
picture GC doing it, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't like going against my boys. Like I like there's nothing better when it's like you and like 5 of your friends and everyone has the same bet and you just sit and you watch the entire game and it's just
That's
everyone's
fair.
going.
I feel like more they celebrate the good lines though. More than,
okay, like
the
when
winner
they
and
get
loser.
close
It's kind
to
of
it.
just like what a line. Like they set like a crazy good line on the over under. Like it'll be like
Degenerate.
35 raindrops and it'll be 36 raindrops and they'll just be freaking out.
By the way, have you guys ever played that water game?
Which water game?
You know,
Got to
like,
be a little more specific.
oh, I saw these guys doing it. Like there's a cup and you put it under the sink,
Yes,
and then you have to keep like you have to get water out of the sink, out of the faucet, but you can't let it go over. You can't let it spill over. So everyone's just adding, and then you get to the top, and then it's just like sitting up there, and you're adding like a little drop. It's actually quite riveting.
Whoever spills it over has to do something.
Yes.
In the pool, eat like hot sauce, something like that. Yeah.
Have you ever seen
never-
this near Craig?
I haven't seen that, but I've seen a lot of those types of things.
Right.
Those
I
types
can't
of
believe
games.
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, not that specific one, but I've seen a 100 different versions of that.
Have you ever split the G's?
Oh, the greatest.
You guys know what that
Never
is?
tried.
Split
Yeah,
the G?
Yeah,
Guinness,
the Guinness
yeah.
game.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Oh yeah. I mean, my friends have adopted it and they love it.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Pizza.
PC
Okay.
loves it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, PC's the man. Chris, hello, Mr. H. Two-parter, if I may. First question is: was DC versus Lesnar actually close to happening, or was that all for show to have Brock come in and shove him? Never really got close. Honestly, never really got close. Second, you rap Triumph a lot, so we know you like Wu-Tang. But for you, Frank, New York Rick, and GC, what are your top, let's say, 3 hip hop albums of all time? By the way, I got my.
Oh, where did you get those?
That's for my friends from Stan Socks.
That's awesome.
Top 3 hip hop albums of all time. I feel like Frank has a say in this.
Yeah, I would do 2001, Dr. Dre,
The Chronic.
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 Yeah.
and then Music for Earthworms by A$AP Rock. And
Isn't it
then-
A$AP Rocky?
No.
Okay.
Different guy.
And then Paul's Boutique, I think, would be the one.
Okay.
Don't
What
know
is that?
What's that?
Beastie Boys.
Oh, like what's the most famous song on that?
Like Shake Your Rump, but the entire album, like I'm surprised you haven't heard it. The Dust Brothers produced it. It's got a lot of samples, even stuff from like the Beatles in it. It's just chef's kiss.
What, is that the one with Intergalactic Planetary?
No, that's called Hello Nasty. I can't believe you didn't know that.
How am I supposed to know that? I've never been like a big...
Because that was like your generation.
Like, oh, that's 1999 LP. Like, I just like the song. I don't like the song,
Wow.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. All that smugness is not good for your health. What about you, GC? You're going to give us something like Kendrick Lamar 2014.
What's wrong with that?
Good Kid,
Why are you
Mad
hating
City?
on that?
No, I'm just
Pimp a Butterfly, those are great albums.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know if y'all are going to agree with mine. Astro World, these are just my 3 favorite. Astro World, Travis Scott. If you're reading this, it's too late, Drake.
Oh, yeah.
And 3, Savage Mode, 21 Savage.
Oh, I love to.
I can go through those 3 at any moment and just run them through, no problem.
Love it. Eric? Like, you're catching me and like I'm trying to do something on the screen.
Yeah, I'll fill some time by explaining that my hip hop knowledge like ends in the 2000s somewhere.
It's all your opinion, Rick.
I don't have,
Everyone's going to come at us and be like, I can't believe you didn't name XYZ.
Yeah.
But I only got 3 choices, and these are my top 3.
The ones that were on the heaviest rotation in childhood were probably Enter the 36 Chambers.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
The Blueprint. And Illmatic, probably. Some variation on that, but like it's that era of and then after that it kind of falls off. Like it transitioned to maybe Kanye, and then that was like the end of it. That was where it all stopped for me.
Yeah, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, great one.
I really liked the Fugees back in the day. The Wyclef.
Man.
What?
I mean,
Bad?
Killing Me
Yeah.
Softly is
The
one of
first
my favorite songs
Wyclef
of all
album
time.
was great. The solo album, whatever the hell it was called. Staying Alive. Was it Staying Alive, Frank?
No.
The first Kanye West album was great. I feel like I've said this before. I feel like we've had this question before. I feel like we've been asked this question 1,000 times.
That they knew your answers.
Oh, all right, fine.
So
great. I don't have to answer? No, he said he said that no, he said me because he said, "Oh, you rap Triumph." Machiavelli,
He just say
great.
but for you. Okay.
Life After Death.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but for you, yeah.
These are all good. I feel like there's no bad answers here. Like
It's just like food. It's all your own
I do
opinion.
think asking what's an album that you like start to finish, it's kind of a specific question.
I'm a big Strokes fan. I know this is not hip hop, but I like the Strokes. Lovely Feathers.
Nice.
Yeah.
New York City
yeah.
Cops. Is that one of your favorite songs
What?
from the Strokes? Anyway, moving on.
Do. Okay. Kelly Anderson. What's up, MMA Hour crew? You often express your love for the Tupac song. Hit 'em up. Wow. How about this?
There's a theme.
By the way, this is why you have moderator Lewis doing the thing. I was just wondering how you felt about the whole East Coast, West Coast beef during that time in hip hop. It created some of the best music at the time, but ultimately the tragedies that ensued were devastating. What are you and your crew's feelings on this topic? Oh, that's a great question.
Didn't we talk about this earlier as well?
Did we?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say Lewis isn't picking good questions anymore?
No. I think we naturally started talking about who shot Tupac.
Who shot you?
By the way, have you been to Quad Studios down the street where in the lobby is where he got shot the first time?
No way. That's down the street?
Yeah, I'll have to take you sometime.
How close?
I mean, it's in Times Square. So,
It's not really down the street. Times Square? Down the street to you?
I mean, it is Manhattan.
Listen, 1997, 98, I was 15, 16. I was very aware of what was going on, and I thought it was crazy that it had reached that point. Like, when it was just tension and beef, it was fun, right? If you want a producer that's all up in your videos, dancing, come to death row, that type of thing, like, that was great. That was fun. The back and forth was fun. But then when it got to, people being shot, like, then it was no fun. But wild time to live in. I remember finding out that Biggie was shot on the internet. I was in we had one computer. It was this massive computer. It was downstairs in our basement. I remember finding out on that computer that Biggie had been shot and that Phil Hartman was killed. I think, but was it by his wife or ex-wife?
Yeah, by his wife.
And that was shocking. I remember finding out on that computer too, because there was no other way to find out this stuff. It's not like we had phones. That Chris Farley died. right?
That was horrible.
Um,
John Candy.
I don't think You're
That's
trying
a
to tell
couple years
me where I found out about these? I'm telling you.
I misunderstood.
John Candy, oh, what a time. I mean, what a legend. God, that was so sad. That was so sad. Uncle Buck, what a movie, right?
Oh, classic. I do have a question about this time period, though, and specifically this thing. So, do you remember when he was named Puff Daddy at the time, came out with his song after Biggie got shot, and he did a music video, and the music video starts with Puff Daddy driving a motorcycle and then crashing it, and then the song starts. Like, as a kid, I didn't understand the correlation between that and the message of the song or the life event that had just happened. What's your take on that?
I love the song.
What's the song? I'll be missing you.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just felt like it just didn't.
That video starts with him crashing a motorcycle.
Yeah, like the motorcycle, he dropped, like it crashes on the side of the road, and he gets up
really?
and he starts singing.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
What are you?
I thought maybe I'm only remembering like the not the acoustic, but like the studio version or whatever it is with him and just Faith Evans like on a stage.
It just seemed like
I don't
a
remember
flex,
this like
I have so much money.
Oh yeah, wow! I don't remember this at all.
Traumatized me because I'm like, look, this guy just died. There was a whole conspiracy about the ready to die and life after death thing, and then here's Puff Daddy's hit, and it's like, well, you're just flexing that you have money to trash a motorcycle. Is that what you're saying, or maybe Biggie never got to have a motorcycle?
I don't. I got to be honest with you. I'm watching this. This doesn't feel like a flex to me. This feels like him, struggling.
Struggling to. Okay, I got it. Yeah. What kind of motorcycle is that, by the way? Is it like a Ducati or something?
It seems like a Yamaha 16,000. It's kind of hard.
The motorcycle
around. Yeah, what the hell? 73 million views, by the way, on
Insane.
YouTube.
And nobody questions the motorcycle.
Honestly, I have no recollection of this motorcycle.
I don't. It just when this got brought up, that was one of the memories I had. I just thought maybe you guys remember as well. GC.
I think he was too young at that age. I don't.
What'd you say? No, I'm watching the music video right now.
All right.
You've never seen that before, right?
No.
Yeah.
73 million views though,
Music videos on YouTube are just like big bang.
Yeah, because you just
insane.
Yeah, you just play them over and over again. I mean, I love watching music videos.
I was on a school trip in the 9th grade in Montreal, the school that I went to. They took all of us to Israel that, in your 9th going to 10th grade year, that summer, 2 months. And this song came out and it's all we listened to, like on the bus and everything, all I listened to. I was such a Debbie Downer. I refused to go on any of the hikes or mountain climbing things. And we had 2 buses. And my wife was the same school as me, and she would always try to get me, like, I didn't really understand what she was trying to do. In retrospect, I understood what she was trying to do. She was trying to get me to do all these things. And I was like, no, I'm just going to sit here and, wallow in my self-pity for whatever.
And she would go out and do them without you?
No, she was like, come on. No, she would sit on the bus with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's when I knew.
How old?
9th grade. So
wow.
So 97, 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Good times.
What a year.
What a year. What a time. Okay. Oh, I forgot. You know what album I listened to every day on repeat on that trip and probably in my number 1 album of all time?
Let's hear it.
Regulate. Warren G. Come on. You don't know that song?
I know the song. I was just surprised that that's...
Oh, Regulators, Mount Up. It was a cold black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume...
Was this on your Discman?
Or? Not even Discman. Walkman.
Walkman, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. With the bass boost switch.
Just hit the east side on the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr.
Clean?
Warren G.
Just rhymed.
I actually at the time considered naming my son Warren because I loved him so much. Anyway, one last one. I think Andy has to go, so I need to wrap this up, don't I? Potato Man. What is your dream realistic sports documentary that hasn't been made yet? Realistic meaning it would be impossible to make, so basically nothing about the UFC or with footage owned by the UFC because they are no fun to work with. / licensed footage from. That is true. Just ask a lot of their fighters. Not exclusive to MMA. Wow. What is your realistic dream sports documentary? I mean, I've always said that the 2016 year in the UFC was like tailor-made, but I guess we're not doing UFC for this question. I love pro wrestling. Have you guys watched the A&E biographies on the pro wrestlers?
I only saw the clip of
They're so good.
John Cena and The Rock, the promo part. Is that from that?
Tremendous. Yes, that's Rivals. That's the show hosted by Freddie Prinze
sorry.
Jr., but also tremendous. The documentary series that they got, it's just biography. There's one on Jake the Snake. There's one that I'm currently watching. Now, I will admit, I'm currently in like my 10th viewing, and I'm only 10 minutes in. But the NWO one is great. You know who's featured all throughout it is our good friend Morundi. He's like the narrator of the damn thing.
Oh, nice.
Because he's writing the book. Did you know that?
I love that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Shout out to Mark.
Sports documentary. I mean, I love the 90s Knicks, and I read Blood in the Garden by... I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. It's been a long day. You know what I'm talking about, New York, Rick. You know Blood in the Garden? Oh, Blood in the Stool came up. Chris Herring. That's a great one. Loved Four Falls of Buffalo or from Buffalo. The 30 for 30 on the Bills. Shout out to Jordan Poyer re-signing. Shocked to see that. Probably the biggest news in the NFL today, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the biggest news. Can't think of anything else. I would go like a Last Dance-esque, but it's Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
On
A
what?
specific thing? Is it the specific incident where on Thanksgiving?
No.
Around that? Or what is it?
Him winning 15 majors and almost 100 PGA tournaments.
But why is that Last Dance-esque?
Them making one where it's just like behind the
scenes.
scenes.
of that era?
Yeah.
I mean, they had
That's
to have
such a
followed
long
them.
span, though.
Yeah.
Just like, was Jordan's Last Dance documentary not a long span? I mean,
No,
give me
it
10
was-
years.
But were they
It was one
following
season.
him? I mean, I guess
What?
a lot of
Literally one season.
no
The Last Dance?
No,
No, they covered his
the
entire run.
the last season was the
framework
thread,
of
but
it
then
was the last season, though.
Dude, but the entire documentary covered all of the championships.
no, he's right. By the way, could we just talk for a quick second about how amazing that was? Like, what a gift from God.
Oh, it was the greatest thing
During the
ever. It was-
pandemic.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm
like,
wearing Jordans right now because of that documentary. I was like,
wait,
all
you
right,
didn't know who Michael Jordan was before that?
I mean, of course I knew who Michael Jordan was, but I was like, oh, well, I got my stimulus check. Let me go ahead and scoop some.
It was the light at the end of my tunnel.
Let me check Jay's. I love
the
that.
Sundays
Yes. I was actually
every
sad
week.
when it was over.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't
I
wanna
watched it
do
like 3 times over.
I feel like though for Tiger there has to be a thing, and it would probably be that like Thanksgiving. Oh no, that's kind of like not really sports realms.
You
I
end
don't know.
You end it with the 2008 U.S. Open. He wins on the broken leg. It's his last major before the car accident, all that, and then you have a little lull, and then you do the 2019 Masters.
Oh, you just skip it.
The 10-year lull into the 2019 Masters. No, I mean if you did a full spectrum covering the 20 years, and it was like a 10-episode documentary, that'd be appointment viewing for me.
Yeah.
This is a little niche and specific, but I would really love to know the story of the decision. Like really know.
You know,
what the
ESPN
hell
did a
happened.
good one on that. You remember?
Oh, LeBron.
It's
ESPN
fine.
did one on that.
Yeah.
They did,
It was fine, but
yeah.
I need to know the real stories. I need
Like
LeBron.
who put it?
I need
up-
LeBron talking
Who put him
about
up to
this.
it? Like, there's no way he was like, I'm looking to go to Greenwich to the Boys and Girls
Oh, that
Club.
was so weird.
Yeah.
I
I
love
need to know all of the
Who picked out
details.
the outfit too?
The
Like,
outfit.
why didn't he wear a suit?
How did Jim Gray get that job? You know?
That I think they have revealed. That I think was talked about. But I think the
Why did he get it?
premeditated part. There was something he was just comfortable with him. I forget the exact reasoning there. That I think has been discussed. Like the television aspect of it, I think has been kind of unpacked and seen. But I'm talking like the decision of the decision is what I'm very interested in.
The verbiage.
Maybe LeBron's saving that
Take
one.
my talents to South Beach.
Yeah, maybe LeBron's saving that for his own production company down the line.
Man. 99 Knicks was a great one. The 8 seed that made it to the finals. 94 Knicks. I love them as well. Yeah, there's a lot.
Jordan's.
You know what's my number one? Of
retirement.
course. My number one is the 94 Expos. 94 Expos had the
What's the
best
story? Give me the
with
give
the
me the
strike?
details. What's the
94
story?
Expos had the best record in baseball, 64-40, first place as of August 12th. All the Braves fans out there, they love to talk about the decade of dominance, completely skipping over the fact that we were going to end in first place whenever the season ended.
Get bounced in the second round.
Yeah, right in the second round. What are you talking about? We had the freaking greatest team of all time. Cliff Floyd rookie hitting a home run off of Greg Maddux. You know about this story in July? I mean, it's the stuff of legends. And then that essentially killed baseball in Montreal because the next season.
The 01 Mariners.
What? The Mariners?
116 and like
yeah.
46.
What, the ones who got
bounced in the first
Nah,
round?
this is not the same team. They didn't have anyone. Yeah, that would be my pick. 94 Expos. All right.